Welcome to the video Vort. Torah tells us that Moshe Rabbeinu and Korach were engaged in a dispute, in a debate, in which Korach was attempting to have a coup d'etat and overthrow Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron, for that matter, their leadership. The Torah further tells us that part of the leadership of this rebellion included Dasan and Aviram. And Moshe summoned Dasan and Aviram. The Medrash says that they refused to come, and Moshe Rabbeinu went to see Dasan and Aviram themselves, to consult with them, to talk to them, to see about the possibility of how to resolve this dispute. And based on this notion that Moshe Rabbeinu sought out Dasan and Aviram, when they refused to show up to Moshe Rabbeinu's door, the Gemara, this is the Gemara's point, the Gemara says that ein machzikin b'machlokas. What we derive from this story is that one should not persist when it comes to a dispute. In other words, to allow this dispute to persist by the actions that I take. But rather, one should do whatever they possibly can and not stand on ceremony. If Dasan and Aviram won't come to me, I'll come to them. However, Rabbi Menachem ben Zion Sachs in his Sefer Menachem Zion and others point out that the key to understanding this teaching of Chazal is in the word machzikin. The word machzikin comes from the word chazaka. Chazaka means a presumption. In the halachic, in the Talmud and the halacha, a chazaka is a presumption of how the world operates, a presumption of how a situation operates, a presumption of a person's status. Chazaka is an assumption, a presumption that this is the situation, this is how it is, and this is how it will be. Says the Gemara, according to Rabbi Sachs, ein machzikin b'machlokas means when it comes to disputes, to machlokas, to arguments, do not apply the rule of chazaka. Do not assume that just because this is the way that it has been, there is a pattern even that has developed, it does not necessarily have to be this way going forward. Ein machzikim, there is no chazaka when it comes to disputes, but rather I should do whatever I possibly can to and go the extra mile to do what I can to change the reality. Because when it comes to disputes, they are not necessarily eternal. They do not necessarily need to persist. Ein machzikim b'machlokas. And perhaps this also explains another Gemara, the Medrash. The rabbis tell us that lo matza HaKadosh Baruch Hu kli. HaKadosh Baruch Hu did not find a better vessel to hold lahachzik, machzik bracha, to hold Hashem's blessings for us, other than the kli called shalom. So if we do not apply the chazaka, the rule of chazaka to disputes, if we do not machzik, if we do not persist in disputes, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will be machzik, will create, then we will have created the kli in which HaKadosh Baruch Hu can be machzik, can hold his brachas that he has in store for us. Good Shabbos.